to the video. So in today's video, I will be discussing as to how to moisturize your skin in the fall and in the winter seasons. I think these are interchangeable as well when you're transitioning out of those seasons into the next one, particularly transitioning out of the winter season, going into spring and summer, the more slightly cooler but still warming up months heading into summer. So hang tight with me because we are finna go all the way in. This must be deodorant. That's all right though. Guess what we can do? We can cover it. We can cover it. That's the thing about it. You must put on deodorant strategically or else you're going to have an incident like that. Okay. So the first thing to remember is if you're planning this coming into fall, or maybe you're right at it right now. Fall officially starts, I believe, in September. We're in October. Okay, so we're about halfway in there of this quarter of the season. You feel me? Okay. Just want to set the tone. So the thing about fall is you're just getting adjusted to the slightly cooler weather, which may grow on you or may come suddenly, because anything, I mean, if you've seen the weather patterns, they just have been out of whack and they have been totally abnormal for the better part of the last 3 to 4 years. You take a look. You got to believe me. Go ahead and do your research. As we do here on this channel, we research and we experiment. Okay. So now we're in October, soon to be in November. We are in the thick of fall. Temperatures are starting to go down. To be honest with you, I like the decor and the type of clothing you could wear and the food more than I like the weather. Just saying. So here's the first thing to do. Before you could go out and buy products or look at the products you have in your cabinet, as far as moisturizing your skin for the fall weather, you first have to look at what is my skin type. Now, to put a disclaimer out there, I am not a medical professional, nor am I a doctor or dermatologist. So I'm giving you the totality of my experience. If your skin is sensitive, you want to look for something that supports sensitive skin. Good morning. You must be in a different time frame, Monty. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Okay. So first, know your skin type. If it's oily, you want to look for something that is that contains a non-greasy type of oil, like jojoba, unless you're allergic, coconut, unless you're allergic, or something formulated as non-greasy. However, you have combination skin. Going to give you a short brief on what that means. If you have combination skin, that means with the season it changes. So if it gets fall and your skin starts peeling a bit more than it did in the summer, in summer it was fine and it needed moisture, then what you're going to have to do is lean more towards something that's going to act as a mask, a repair mask for your skin. Not a medical professional, not a dermatologist, just saying. And if you have totally dry skin, that means you've been moisturizing all year. Combination skin, you kind of have to move with the times. And I feel like with combination skin, you should also follow the same pattern with your makeup application as a woman as you do with your skincare. That should match. I'm just saying, because there's different types of makeup, different types of foundation, different types that cater to dry and all this stuff like that. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. No matter what, you need an oil of some type, whether it's non-greasy like jojoba and coconut oil, or whether it's greasy like olive. Shea has its own natural emollient, creamy whip. It's like a mask on its own. You in one or two of them categories. Okay. There you go. Not a medical professional, not a dermatologist. The first thing I would recommend, and this has been melted down into the jar, get yourself a block of shea butter. I just so happen to add some very fragrant multi-use oil to it. And you guys have seen that this last couple of weeks. And I happen to have it also here. This is a brightening body oil. You want to combine these two together. You ain't got to get the specific brand. I'm just using this as an example. You want to get the both of these. Do you hear me? You want to get the, excuse me. You want to get the both of these. You want to get yourself a brightening oil, a vitamin C serum works well, and you want to combine it with shea butter. You either melt down the shea butter and mix it in there, shake it all up, get yourself a little plain novelty jar, Amazon or Dollar Tree. No excuse, at any price range you could get these. Maybe not this size, but you can get something of a good size, personally for you to travel with. Mix that thing down into a jar. If not, get them separate. If you're dealing with, like me, you see there's a clear line there. Acne marks, acne scars. This combination finna knock it out for you. Whether it's vitamin C or a multi-use oil that is also a brightening one, a fade serum. You want to make sure it's geared towards, if you're going to go to vitamin C serum route, you want to make sure that it is specifically for your face. And a brightening facial serum. Keyword serum, vitamin C, facial. Those three. Facial, vitamin C, serum. Those keywords, look for those on the bottom. Okay? Because if it's formulated for your face, it's usually safe for the rest of your body. I'm not a medical professional, so I am going to put that, I'm going to keep putting that out there. You want a patch test on the inner wrist. Patch test, 24 hours, this combination. So you might not want to put it in the jar just yet at this point. Cut you a little swab, get a guap, whatever. Cut you a little square of shea butter. Put that on your skin. Then put that vitamin C serum or the brightening, whichever brightening oil you have, scented or not. Put that in there. Then what you want to do is take something and tie it up with it, so that way as you sleep it doesn't wipe itself away from, you see what I'm saying? You test this for 24 hours because you're not supposed to wash that area that you patch test. In 24 hours, if you see nothing is wrong, that's fine. Give it 24 more hours after it absorbs into your skin and then see what else it's going to do. If you have no reaction to that, you good to go and you fine. All right, we good? No? Rewind it back. Rewind it back. I always encourage that because this is going up on the channel for those who want to run this back. I want you to repeat it as many times. I want you to repeat this video in this particular section if you need it, or any other section that you need. I want you to repeat it as many times as you need to so that you can get it. You feel me? Okay, got it. All right, moving on, shall we? However, if you don't need skin brightening, or maybe brightening your skin during the fall and the winter, you don't have acne scars, you can put it in there, or you can omit it and just keep plain shea butter. Shea butter on its own helps to even out your skin. It's just going to take a bit longer without the extra assistance of the vitamin C serum. Also, it smooths out texture. You ever seen somebody's skin is so smooth, and then you see another person that maybe they have little tiny pimples, their pores is kind of swollen. That's not a smooth texture. And so if you're looking for a smoother texture, shea butter, I say this from experience, shea butter got your back. Unless you're allergic to it, then I would be looking for cocoa butter. You feel me? Okay. Now, on the other end of things, if you're not a fan of shea butter, maybe you're allergic, maybe it's too greasy for you, get yourself a good body lotion that is not that oily. I'm going to explain why in a little bit. This is, ladies and gentlemen, OGX. This is their argan oil of Morocco. Now, they have a hairline in this, and I've heard a lot of controversy, allegedly. We're going to stick with the body care side. I've not yet had an issue with the body care side of OGX, so I'm sticking with that part. Okay, of the alleged stuff going on. This is argan oil Morocco. This is a good lotion, but I'm going to tell you this. Although it has argan oil, to me, it dries really fast. So I feel like, in my personal opinion, you're not getting as much moisture as you need to. So you need to get something plain like this, plainly scented, mildly scented, Cetaphil, plain Dove body wash, not a body wash, goodness. Get yourself a plain Dove body lotion. They have it in their Body Love collection, where they have nearly everything they had in their body wash. They have a plainly scented, very mild type of lotion in the Body Love collection. It should. Don't get the vanilla. This is not time to do it. You want to focus on mild scents only, because what you're going to do is you're going to take a vitamin C serum, or you're going to take a jojoba oil, or you're going to take argan oil. In this case, you want to add more argan oil. I would. My hands look greasy, but I just want you to see. I just want you to see. This thing going on like it's body wash. It's body lotion. And there is a matching OGX body wash to go to this argan oil of Morocco body lotion. Body lotions tend to have a less of a thicker texture. It's just thick enough. Think baby lotion, like that. That's what you want. That's what you want to head towards, like that. Okay. Now you see that absorb very, very quickly. Now I'm gonna hold it up here for you to see when it dries. I just want you to see what I see. I know it's not as good as sitting here with me in person, but I'm gonna try my hardest to capture it for you all. You feel me? Like that. All right. Already I can see that it's absorbed, and now it doesn't even look like I put it on, although you and I know, and you and I saw that I just put it on, and it feels like it's void of moisture. Here's how you resolve that. Put an oil in it. Put a coconut oil in it. In fact, I would recommend probably putting one of the greasiest oils in these type of lotions. Or what you can do is go get Body Collagen. I'm trying to see if I can grab it. It's way over there. I ain't finna do it. Body Collagen's body washes specifically have a type of texture like this, but it's thicker because it's a body cream. Body Collagen really don't do body lotions, you feel me? So they're thickums. Hello, Peyton! We're discussing how to moisturize your skin this fall and winter. Right now we're in the middle of lotions and combining with oils. You can run it back in case you need me to repeat anything. No worries. Anywho, so it literally feels like I ain't putting nothing on. It feels so dry. I just want you to see that, because for those of you that are still here, you can see that it's no longer shining. It's supposed to absorb, but when it starts to give off that it's a type of formula that makes your skin look dry, no matter how many times you apply it 3 times, and it's still like, well, I like it's drying out my skin. See, that's the same concern, and this is gonna be for a different video. That's the same concern that I have about lip balms. When I learned that some of them are just like, you put them on and you feel like you got to keep putting them on because they're drying out your lips. And I feel like there's body lotions and body creams allegedly that also have this going on as well. Yeah, it's something else. So add an oil to it. Jojoba oil is good, but you're going to need to back it up with something really greasy. So I would recommend, if you're going to go in with 2 different oils, go with one that's non-greasy and with something like olive oil. Olive oil is not just for cooking. You want to get a bottle of olive oil and designate that specifically for your body care. It's going to look a little weird, okay? What you doing with olive oil? Why is it sitting next to your body? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Olive oil is not only heart healthy on the inside, it also moisturizes your skin on the outside. Take a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of jojoba oil and go in with it. With these body lotions that have oil in it, that say they have oil in it. I'm not saying they're lying. That's what they say. Read the ingredient list. You want to pump up the volume of greasiness, of oiliness, and put it in your body lotion for specifically for both of these seasons. So we're in the middle of fall. Winter coming up next. Okay. You want to put this on daily. Now, here are the target areas you need to be targeting. You need to be targeting them elbows, because the elbows are the first sign of seeing ashiness. You ever seen somebody with some ashy elbows? It's like you be wanting to walk up to them. I'm gonna use this for example. You want to walk up to them. Hey man, hey sis, how you doing? How you doing? And you just be having it behind your back. How you doing? How you doing? Shake your hand. Just like Just like that. And you don't want to do it to offend them, but you said you want to do it because look, if if I don't say nothing to you, these strangers ain't gonna be so nice a lot of time. They're not gonna be so nice to say it to you, all right, baby? They're not gonna be too nice to you to say it to you. You feel me? They're not gonna do it. They just gonna tell you, hey, you need lotion. Hey, I got lotion. They may not even say it as nice as that. They may be a bit more frank about it. You feel me? Yeah. Okay. Now we have the other side of the spear. So we have gone over shea butter. We've gone over lotions that have oil in it, but they absorb so fast that it feels like it's not doing anything for you and it feels like it's not moisturizing. Okay. My favorite that I've been rocking and using, not the specific jar. I've been using I want to call it coconut butter. Cocoa butter. Cocoa butter has been one of my best friends for my skin ever since I've been a teenager. I have been using cocoa butter for probably almost 20 years. Long time. You look at person, I'm in my 30s by the grace of God. Okay? Cocoa butter is your best friend. Now let's get into this. I already know I'm going to smell like argan oil. I already smell like shea butter. I already smell like figs. That's fine. Use this tip for the fall to moisturize your skin. Use this tip for the winter to moisturize your skin. First things first. I've probably had this about 5 years. It is about how you store it. I will leave a link on my community tab right after I go live on my community tab on my channel. So if you're new here, you might want to hit that red button so you don't miss it. Okay. And I'll show you how to properly store your body care items so that way you too can keep something like this long that's still effective. All right. Cocoa butter is the second greasiest thing in addition to shea butter. So anybody remember this? I showed you the shea butter. Here go the cocoa butter. I'm showing you the difference. Now this may be refined or unrefined. I forgot whether this shea butter was refined or unrefined. Get one of them. They're going to benefit you whether they're refined or unrefined. You hear me? Yeah? Okay. All right. So we're on the cocoa butter side. Cocoa butter, here's the benefits. So it helps with stretch marks. I'm not there yet as far as being someone's mother. I am someone's aunt. But cocoa butter has been known over time, you can just go and look for before and after pictures. I've been using cocoa butter so long that even though I have acne prone skin, these dark marks should have been darker. But because I've been consistently using it for over 15 years, this is not a lie. This is not cap. That's why they're not darker. And with a combination of cocoa butter, shea butter, and vitamin C serums of different brands over the years. That's why, well, actually, the grace of God in front of all that. All of that combined is why this is not darker. Now, here's what you're going to encounter with cocoa butter. I just want you to see. A lot of times, it'll have a beeswax complex. It'll have a beeswax base. What does that mean? So when people put things like cocoa butter in a jar, they make it with beeswax. Beeswax is the same thing that they use for, and sometimes carnauba wax, I think that's pronounced that way. They use beeswax or carnauba wax. They use a type of wax, skin friendly. This is why I always encourage to look up the ingredients on the bottles and do your own homework, okay? I'm not a chemist. I'm a bit of a nerd in that area, but I still encourage you to do that. Most of these type of jar moisturizers have beeswax as their base. So that means, one, it's going to, you see that, all that glistening? It's going to melt at the first sign of your body temperature. Our bodies hold a consistent body temperature unless you're going in and out. For the fall and winter, that's going to fluctuate for those of you that live in states, areas, regions, and territories that snow. Or all of a sudden it's getting to be the 50s out there. All of a sudden it's getting to be the 60s out there. It's getting to be the, it's just getting cold. Or if it's snowing, you're up north, you're in New York, you in Michigan, you in the northern states, cocoa butter is going to be your best friend unless you're allergic. Or if you just don't like the smell of chocolate, you don't want to smell like a Hershey's Kiss, that's fine. Shea butter, you're finna smell like a snickerdoodle cookie. Snickerdoodle, vanilla, cinnamon. That's all snickerdoodle is. Might have nutmeg in it in some versions. So it melted. You see that? And I didn't use but this much. Now, cocoa butter, you don't have to combine an oil with it. Cocoa butter has its own oils. Now, this is Palmer's, but I'm going to recommend looking at other brands in case you're not too favorable towards Palmer's. Or what you could do is Palmer's has a whole body care set where you could take this cocoa butter. This same cocoa butter scent comes in a body oil. It also comes in shea butter from Palmer's. Shea butter body oils. Go get their matching body oils, and then you can go and squeeze all that body oil in there, and then get to stirring it up. Go get yourself a specifically buy a spoon, plastic spoon that you won't use to eat off of, and then do it that way and stir it up. That's going to already maximize your moisture. But because cocoa butter comes already greasy because the ingredients in it, and I'm going to go over the ingredients in a little bit, it's just going to take up a notch where you're going to look like a oily, you already know, that rotisserie you've been walking by in Walmart or in Publix or in Costco or in HEB, whatever your store chain is. You can put body oil in it. That takes it up a notch. Also, when you make that type of mixture, when you're putting oil into cocoa butter, just like I was talking about putting oil into shea butter, you're essentially making a mask for your skin. This is the perfect mixture whether you use shea butter or cocoa butter together with a oil of choice, jojoba coconut oil, vitamin C serum, olive oil even is safe. You just want to make sure that if you cook with olive oil in the house, don't use that same bottle that you use to cook your stuff with olive oil. Buy two and designate one for your body care. It's one of the greasiest oils, but if you use a little bit at a time and ease it into your body care process, specifically these main two moisturizers, you won't need on any of the other more expensive body moisturizers. Shea butter is great on its own. You can add an oil to it to upgrade it, to take it up a notch. Same thing with cocoa butter. You're going to smell like a vanilla sugar cookie with this. You're going to smell like chocolate with this. You could combine them together. I think I've seen people do that before, and I think it's manufactured together too. Or either you could just buy it as a set or buy it separate. Whatever it is, pick both. Pick both, or one or the other. If you're not sure, start off with shea butter. Get the smallest block you have. I've seen shea butter, if you want to go that route, I've seen it in places like City Trends. They have it in a nice little jar, but the jar is flatter and wider like this. So it's like flatter and wider, more wider range. And you still have to run that underneath hot water or cut a couple blocks out. As soon as you get on your skin, it melts instantaneously. Very nice and creamy. Cocoa butter, you wouldn't need to run this underneath hot water if you're using formulas like this that are beeswax based or carnauba wax based as well. I didn't mean to say waste, goodness. Do it that way. Being that this is a bit more greasier than the shea butter, but both are almost as greasy as one another. I'll say that again. They're all, shea butter and cocoa butter are almost as greasy as one another. You combine it with oil, that's an upgrade, and you're taking it to a mask. So when you put that on your skin, here's an extra tip for your feet, whether you use cocoa butter or shea butter. Here's the thing to do. Whether or not you put baby oil, I'm not going to go there, because baby oil is still considered what baby oil was before somebody decided to mess it up. Baby oil, perfume oil is also good. Just make sure the perfume oil you use is alcohol free and full of coconut, jojoba, all the other oils, rose, whatever like that. Make sure, this is the quickest way to make a mask for those with dry skin. your dry skin will soak that up. If you have combination skin and during this time your skin is starting to peel or your skin is starting to get really, really dry and it's not taking really good to lotions like this, it's not taking really good to Bodycology, it's not taking really good to Bath and Body Works or Victoria, don't tell nobody, Victoria's Secret. It's not taking well, it just absorbs and then it just look like you ain't even put on anything in the first place. Upgrade. Shea butter, cocoa butter. Add oil for your feet, specifically for the softest feet. I'm going to tell you how to get the softest behind feet in the world. Did you hear me? Pay attention. Shea butter, cocoa butter. Add one of those oils I listed. Go get yourself some thick, them high water socks. Get them. Right after you put that mixture on your feet, get in between the toes. Make sure you're putting this on freshly clean, washed feet, by the way. Put it on your feet, that mixture of one of them butters or oils. Put on them white socks that go all the way up to your ankle. Go ahead and put on your warm pajamas. You go to sleep like that and do that just once or twice a week overnight. And I'm not going to promise you, because Lord knows I want to say I promise you. Try it for yourself and report back here in the comments. You're going to have the softest feet in the world. The only other thing you need to do is soak them periodically. Give yourself a pedicure. They got one of those automatic foot tubs, or either if you don't feel like buying that, then go ahead and use some bubble bath or use a really, really good body wash that you don't mind using, that you're not necessarily fond of. Put that in there and use a really good Tree Hut body scrub. Then put on the put the cocoa butter, shea butter, baby oil, or perfume oil, jojoba, coconut. One of those oils I listed. Give yourself a pedicure. Soak your feet. Put this oil and butter mixture on. Then put on them high ankle socks, crew socks. You know the ones I'm talking about, the white thick ones? Yeah. Put those on. Sleep in them. It's like a foot mask for your feet. Do that for one to two times a week on the regular. My feet stayed soft. By the time I had finished my very first jar as a teenager of cocoa butter, I had bathed head to toe with it. There are uses at which you could use cocoa butter here. You could perfume your hair with it. Same with shea butter. It's very effective. Plus, everything gonna smell like chocolate. That's why I keep smelling it. Oil and butters are going to be your best friend. That's fine. You can go get the high-end stuff. But what happens when you run out of it and it's like, yeah, I can't re-up right now. These are your best friends. 9 times out of 10, the more expensive brands probably have a fragment of one of these agreements or one of these ingredients or another or both. You just got to read the ingredient list. Add a couple nice fine oils, perfume oils, specifically alcohol-free. So be careful in those supply stores where you get the rollerball perfumes. Be very, very careful with that. Be very careful with that. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't patch test first with those rollerball perfumes from the beauty supply, it'll have alcohol in it. And then you go to mix that up with your butters, and then you wonder why you still feel dried out. And why the butter is not working in combination with that. The chemistry of that is just not working for you. So that's why I say get you something that is just straight pure oil. If you're going to go perfume oil route, jojoba oil, or buy the pure essential oils and do it that way. Because it's going to come to be your best friend. You do this consistently and do the foot mask routine, soak them, body scrub your feet, then butter and oil mixture, put on them socks. I've done it 5 to 7 days a week in a row one time. My feet were the softest they ever been, and you want to make sure you get in between your toes when you're doing that. So that way it's like you can literally walk barefoot across the house. When it come to be springtime, you're going to have to you're going to be kind of scared to slide your feet, but not scared. You're going to be kind of hesitant to slide your feet in some sandals, but they're going to be ready because of the work you did now in the fall and now in the winter time coming up. I've bathed head to toe in cocoa butter. And in between that, Palmer's at one time had an exact jar like this. The color scheme was different, but they had it in shea butter too. I don't think they have the same. I don't think they either discontinued or something, but they do have the shea butter oil. So if you want to do it that way and do a combo of both, you could still do it. But right now, for this fall season and for this upcoming winter season, shea butter and cocoa butter is going to be your ultimate best friend because they're already something natural that God put in the earth where they already come off greasy. All you have to do is add what you want to it, add an oil to it. And that's an upgrade. And you can treat it as a mask because they're already thick enough to be a mask. They already melt at body temperature. They already melt at room temperature. You're going to look a little greasy a little bit. Let them laugh at you. Let them make fun of you. That's fine. Because come spring, you ain't going to be the one walking around with ashy feet, ashy elbows, and wherever else you place it. You ain't finna be the ashy one on the team. You ain't finna be ashy one in the friend bunch. You ain't finna be the ashy one in the bunch. You're not finna be the ashy one. I promise you won't be the ashy one. You're going to be the, dang, you're going to be like, man, Jessica really moisturized, or whatever your name is. I'm just using a random name. Yeah, Miss Sonya is very moisturized. Her skin always glowing all the time. That's how you really get glowing skin. This the key. You just got to be willing to transform it with an oil, perfume oil of your choice. That's all. Yeah. Now, this is never goodbye, but it is see you later. Now, if you're just watching, I'm going to put this up on the channel for you to run it back. And so you can take as many notes as you need to. So you're not walking around ashy come this spring of 2025. And you can use this for every year. For every fall. So this ain't just for this year. This is for every fall what to do. This is for every winter for what to do. You ain't finna be called ashy no well. You finna be ready for spring and summer combined. And then come spring, I would still do it at least once a month and follow up this routine. Once spring comes into play, I would still follow it up once a month throughout spring. That way you ready for summer. And then about once a month for summer, throughout summer. That way that holds you over till you get back to now fall. And do that every year. Until next time. You'll be highly moisturized.